tip for today, I can summarize data using frequency tables. Read together, 1, 2, 3. I can summarize data using frequency tables. So, once again, we're getting closer to a topic, once again, that gives college people a hard time, which is a standard deviation and measure central tendency. We're getting closer, but I'm breaking it down in baby steps. Now we're going to look at tables so that you guys are able to read the tables before we get to that next step. You know what I'm saying? So today, the major concept is what? Frequency tables. Yes? All right. Therefore, before I get there, though, look up, please. I'm going to be talking about data or data. You don't have to copy this. Just pay attention. What kind of data am I going to give you? Well, first of all, what is data? Data are facts or information used usually to calculate, analyze, or plan something. What is data? Information. What is it used for? To calculate, analyze, or plan stuff. Now, I'm going to give you two types of data, which is broken down into two different categories. Categorical and quantitative. Categorical and quantitative. First of all, what is categorical? Once again, you're not writing this down, you're just paying attention. Categorical data cannot be expressed with numbers. So that means we need to think of information that doesn't use numbers. For example, ready? Let's say I wanted to get information from this class as to what is your favorite ice cream flavor. Think about it. What's your favorite ice cream flavor? Okay. All right, let's see. Ice cream flavor, Abraham. Be nice. Abraham. Focus. Oh my goodness. Coffee. All right. Coffee. All right. Fine. Haley. Vanilla. Okay, go ahead, Marat. Bubble gum. Okay, I'm gonna pick Rocky Road. Rocky Road. Okay, so check this out. Focus. So look at, guys, focus, please. I'm just letting you know, if we have to finish after 3, we're going to finish after 3. I'm just letting you know. So look at that data, or look at that information I just gathered. Did I use any numbers? No. No, it's just information. That's what we call categorical. Another example of categorical data would be if I asked, let's see, what is your favorite color? Okay, so then I would ask, not Abraham. I would ask, okay, I'll ask Abraham. Abraham, pick someone. Red. Justin? Black. Abra? Blue. And so on and so forth. Notice that this data does not require any numbers. It's all just data. Are we there? So what kind of data is this? It's categorical. We got this? Yeah. Let me go to quantitative. Quantitative data uses numbers. Okay, for example, let's say I wanted to gather information from this class and I wanted to know shoe size. Shoe size. Okay. So let's start with Enrique. Shoe size. 5. Brisa, M. 6.5. Daniel B. 12. Be nice. Aaron, 10. Mr. Q, 14. And so on and so forth. Guys, focus. Notice, what kind of data am I getting? Numbers. That's why this is called what? Quantitative. Does that make sense? Okay. For example, what other kind of data could I get from this class? How about birth date? Like month and date. Month and date. I'm sorry, day and month. Day and month. Okay. Let's start with. Go ahead, Victor. (14/9). Yes? Pamela. 24/11. Okay. Edike. 1, 2. And so on and so forth. Notice that I'm using what? Numbers. Focus. So once again, this is what? Quantitative. What was the previous one? Categorical. No numbers. Numbers. Is that clear? Yes. Okay, so with that said, write this down on your paper. Turn your paper over, not where the fair model goes, in the back. Example 1A. I just want to make sure I'm clear with the data before we move on. Ready? Write this down. Question. Is the following information categorical or quantitative data? Is the following information categorical or quantitative data? Copy that. Here we go. Copy this. Copy that.
It's categorical.
Okay. Whisper to your neighbor which kind of data this is. Example 1B and example 1C. You don't have to copy the questions, but copy the data. For example 1B is red, black, white, comma, green, and so on and so forth. Example 1C, 12 ounce, 16 ounce, 24 ounce, 32 ounce, 64 ounce. Write the type of data and don't say it out loud. Oh my goodness. Okay? Tell your neighbor, example 1B, what kind of data that is? And example 1C? Quantitative. That is correct. Show me how comfortable you are with data so far. Okay? So we're good up to right there, yeah? All right, next. I want you to go back to the other side, get a Freire model. Now we're going to go with a concept. What was the concept for today? Frequency. No. What the concept? Frequency tables. Here we go. Frequency tables, what are they? Frequency tables are tables used to organize information and that show how often data occurs. Frequency tables are tables used to organize information and that show how often data occurs. Let's see. Copy that, and then I'll go over the example. So, definition for frequency tables is tables used to organize information and, so this, both things need to be met, that show how often data occurs. Okay, so writing utensils down, look up to the screen. Two things I have. I said, writing utensils down and look up to the screen. And here's Daniel B.
The opposite of what he said.
Both things opposite. You were looking over there? Anyways, here goes. Writing utensils down. Look up to the screen, please. Here goes. So, I'm going to show you a frequency table. But in order to get a frequency table, we need data, don't we? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you here in the example is not a frequency table. It's just data. So you remember what I just said? Okay, here it goes. Don't write this down, just pay attention. Here it goes. Here's a table of data. What does it say? Types of baskets made by Mr. Q. So in a basketball game, this is what I made. A 1-pointer, 1-pointer, 2-pointer, 2, a 3-pointer, 2-pointer, 3, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 3. So look at it. So in order for me to get a frequency table going with this, first of all, I need to know the types of baskets that there are. How many different types of baskets? 3. 1-pointers, 2-pointers, and 3-pointers. So check this out. Now I'm going to show you the frequency table, Lisa. Ready? Here goes. Here goes a frequency table. Type of basket. But here now it shows the frequency. So let me see, where did they get this from? Well, let's see. How many 1-pointers did I make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There it is. How many 2-pointers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is. How many 3-point baskets? 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. This is a frequency table. Why? Because it shows data that's organized, and what else? And how often it occurred. How many of these? That, and that. Copy that, please. Okay, focus please. Any questions with what a frequency table is? Okay, let me go to what it is not. Ready? Once again, according to the definition, it's to organize information, but also it needs to show how often data occurs. So let me show you another example. Let's see. Period 1, PE. Second period, Algebra 1. Third period, Spanish. Fourth period, Science. Fifth period, Language Arts. Sixth period, History. Seventh period, Elective. Does it show that it's attended like 3 times, 5 times, 8 times? No. This is just a list. That's why this is a non-example. Non-example. Copy that. And as soon as you're copying that, start thinking of some hashtags for you to snap people this picture and let them know what frequency tables are. What are frequency tables? What makes frequency tables? Copy, please. Okay, here we go. Hashtag what, Victor? Bam, frequency. Alvaro. No lists. Andrew.
Hashtag organize.
Organize. Abraham. What? Ice? What? Ice. Maya, help him out. Hashtag what? That is correct. Hashtag data. I was going to say that. All right. Let me show you the steps that we're going to follow today for this part of frequency tables. Look up. Focus. You don't have to copy this. It's just two simple steps. Step one, we're going to organize data. Step two, we're going to summarize it, because that's what the objective says, right? So what does it mean to summarize? So let me give you an example just with this class. For example, when you first walked in, I said, you need to finish that within 5 minutes, right? The warm-up? Okay. So let's say we had a visitor today, and they came into our class, and it was Mr. Sanchez. And he heard me, and all of a sudden everybody was like, oh. He heard me say, try and finish that within 5 minutes. And then he's walking around and seeing that everybody's like engaged and finishing up. And he sees that everybody finishes before the 5-minute mark. What would he summarize of what he saw and what he heard me say? What do you think? What do you think he would say? Okay, Danny. What would he say about you guys?
That they focus on somebody who knows that they'll.
Pamela. Sorry? Follow directions? Okay, go. The students work efficiently. Yeah, that would be a good summary of what he saw and what he heard. Is that correct? That's basically what we're going to do with data. We're going to be summarizing in a sentence what we see with the data. All right, so let's move on. Example 2. Copy this underneath your Ferrier model. Example 2A. And it says, use categorical data listed on the left to complete the frequency table. Use the categorical data listed on the left to complete the frequency table. Write that down. All right, here's a table with data. Write that down. So they surveyed different students on what way students get to school. So now I'm going to zoom into that table. Here it goes. This is just data. Way students get to school. The first student said by bus. The next one by car. The next one walked. The next one car. The next one car. The next one car. The next one bus. And so on and so forth. Copy that table down, please, and then we'll go over the next part. All right. So now that we have this together, we're going to make a frequency table. Here it goes. What are they talking about here? Ways students got to school. How many different ways from what you looked there did they get to school? 3 different ways. So we're going to write next to it, we're going to write ways. And that's our first column. And you said 3 ways, right?
Yes.
What's the first way that they mentioned? Bus, and then car, and then walk. Okay. And of course, since this is a frequency table, what do we write on the last column? Frequency. Okay. So, let's see. By bus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what do we write here? 8 went by bus. Next, I'm going to box car. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that goes right there. And the last one I'm going to underline. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So, let's see. Did we do both things? Did we organize the data? Okay? Did we show the frequency? So, our last step, according to our objective, we need to summarize. So, conclusion. Conclusion. Okay? Check this out. What was the data? Way students get to school. Now look at this. Before you write anything down, think about it. What can you generalize or what can you conclude from this data that now it's organized by frequency? Talk it over to your neighbor. What can you conclude? No. All right, let's see. Who can give me an observation, Leslie? What would be your conclusion? Most students took the bus to school. 10Q. Hands, if you agree with that? Okay. Now, can we make another observation out of that data? Tell your neighbor another observation that you can make out of that.
Oh my God.
That one? Okay, we got another observation over here. Go ahead, Angie. I'm sorry? The least amount of people walk to school. 10Q. You agree with that? Yeah. That's how we summarize information. Okay? All right. So, we did one together. And now you're going to do one by yourself. Yay! Here we go. Example, oh, by the way, sometimes instead of saying conclusion, it's going to say what can you conclude from the frequency table and so on and so forth. Example 2B. You don't have to copy the instructions anymore. You already have them, but here's data. Let me zoom in. Now, you can abbreviate if you want to make it simpler. It says, places where students buy food. Donut Avenue, you can just use the letter D. Johnny's, J. And Circle K, you can just write K. Okay? All right, so go ahead and copy that data, and then I want you to build me a frequency table right next to that and give me a conclusion for that data. Okay, copy that and finish off. I'll give you some time. Ready, go. All right, so this should look, let's see. Your frequency table should look something like this. Hands if you found that it was Donut, Johnny's, and Circle K, yes? All right, let's see. How many went to Donut? Lissa? 14. About Johnny's? Daniel B? 7. And Skylar, Circle K? 3. Hands if you got that. That is correct. Conclusion. Before you give me the conclusion, read it to your neighbor, see if they have something similar to yours. Let's see. Oscar, conclusion. Most students go to donut. Yes? Okay. I would like for it to be a little bit more direct when you're writing it out, because look what it says. Well, there you go. Most students buy food at donut. You know what I'm saying? Just be more direct with whatever they're asking. Another observation, Alvaro. The least amount of students buy food at Circle K.
I get it.
All right, so check this out. Look up, please. So we saw this kind, focus. We saw this kind. And by the way, this table is known as one-way frequency table because all it does, we fill it out going one direction, in that direction. So check this out. Is this a one-way frequency table also? Yeah, that way, and that way. So why am I telling you this? Let's crank it up a notch. Abraham, let's go. Example 3. Now we're going to look at a two-way frequency table. Copy this, please. It says, Mr. Q asked 195 of his students what kind of pet they preferred, dogs, cats, or other. Bless you. On the first column I wrote girl, boy, or total, the student by gender. On the next columns I wrote the preferred pet, dog, cat, other, and the total. Copy that, please. You got 1 minute. Go. Okay, look up, guys. Here it goes. Now, why do they call this a two-way frequency table? Let me show you. Because now we can fill in the table going this way. Look up, please. Watch. What is 60 plus 30 plus 10? 100. What is 85 plus 5 plus 5? What is 145 plus 35 plus 15? So that's one way. Okay, that's one way. But check this out. What is 100 plus 95? 10 plus 5? 30 plus 5? And 60 plus 85? 140. That's why this is called a two-way frequency table. Like that and like that. You fill out information. Now, check this out. Like I said, I need to finish, right? So, how would it look in your home plate? Well, in your home plate, they might say, check this out, look up. They might have this blank. And they're going to ask you. You guys ready? They're going to ask you fill in the two-way frequency table. So what are you going to do that way? You add everything that way and then straight down. What else do we observe? Look up. It says Mr. Q asked 195 students. So look at it. Do you see where the total is at? You guys see it? Right here. Next, what other information can I get from there? Can I ask you how many girls did I survey? How many? 100 girls. How many boys? 95, and so on and so forth. So watch. Conclusion. Okay, I'll wait. Ready? Here we go. Conclusion. Since this one has two-way frequency table, there's several conclusions. But let's look at the main thing. What are we talking about? Preferred pet. Who can give me a good general conclusion? Go ahead, Pamela. Most students prefer dogs. Hands if you agree with that. That'll be a good generalized idea, but there's other things, right? All right, so we are home plate for the weekend, pages 415 through 416. Only. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy home plate. See you guys Monday. Bye.